J. If you are on Oracle, you have to add OJDBC connector. OJDBC. So in the first part, we have to create Maven project. So I have already done by creating this project, that is employee MS. In the pom.xml file, we have already added the required dependencies. This is for Spring Core. This is for Spring Context. This is for Spring JDBC. And this is for MySQL connector J. In the second step, what we are doing, this is called base package, right? Whatever package you are getting as default, it is your base package. Then we created a new package here in this employee management system. I have created the Java config class. So that is the second step. Second step is in the base package, create a new class as Java config. Why we are creating that class? To configure the container, right? We are creating this class to configure the container. In the next step, annotate the Java config class with which annotation? Java config class is a container. Then it should have which annotation? At the rate of configuration and optimize the import. Optimize the import means import the packages. That is control plus shift plus O. So by doing this command, you can optimize the import. In the next step, now I will do all the things from starting. We haven't done anything. Yesterday we did some of the part, no problem. So here in Java config, we don't have anything. This is just a class with particular this one. So this is how our Java config class is looking as of now. So I will mention the same thing. Java config.java should be looking like this. Right now, Java config.java should look like this. After this, the next very step is in the main class, create the application context container. Now here in this Java config, we have configured our container. In the main class, that is app.java, here I will create the container. So that is application context container equals to new annotation config application context. And generally we have to give the file name, that is java config dot class. Right? And this is how our class should look after that. That is app.java. And app.java should look like this now. Like this. Okay, so container is also created. Here you can check by just printing a simple message that is container is created, so that you are not getting any error. Container is created. So we are not getting any error, so we will just remove it. Now as we are going to perform some database operations, as we are going to perform some database operations using Spring JDBC. So Spring JDBC gives us one central class, that is JDBC template. We can perform any kind of database operation using this class, but this class requires connection with database. So which class we are using for creating connection? It is driver manager data source. Driver manager data source class. So that is the next step in Java config class. Create the bean of driver manager data source to get the connection with database. To get the connection with database. So this is my Java config. Inside this, I will create a bean. Bean for public driver manager data source. Name anything you can give. I will go with DMDS. Now this is a method of type driver manager data source. Now it should return the same thing. So I will create its object as well. And same thing I will return. That is DS. Now driver manager data source is a class that we use to obtain connection with database. So to this driver manager data source object, I will give database access. For that, ds.set driver class name. In case of MySQL, that is com.mysql.cj.jdbc.driver. Now don't start the song of Oracle again. As I have already said, I will show you the same thing with Oracle also. Then we will give the database URL of MySQL, that is jdbc colon mysql colon / localhost colon 3306 / database name. My database name that I have created is EMS. Now ds dot set username. My username is root. It can be different for you. ds dot set password. My password is root. It can be different for you. It can be different for you. Password can also be different for you, even if you are on same database as like me. So this is how we configure the bean of driver manager data source. So this code will look like this now. This code will look like this. In the next very step, what we are doing in the container class means Java config. Create the bean of JDBC template and set the data source to JDBC template, because JDBC template requires connection with the database. So we will create the bean of JDBC template and we will use it. So how we will do? So again we have to create one more bean, that is bean like this, public JDBC template you can say. It's a method. You can optimize the import. Again we have to import it, right? We will create the object of JDBC template, that is JDBC template JT equals to new JDBC template, and I will return this JT. So in the documentation I have written two things, that create the bean of JDBC template and set the data source to JDBC template. So here I will say JT dot set data source, setting the data source, and our data source method name is DMDS. So it should be called here like this. This data source I have set to the JDBC template, and this is how this class will look now. Okay, so both the things have been created now. Both the things are created. Now, in the next step, we should have a main controller which will control the entire application. Main class is the main running class. We will run this class every time where we have created the container. But we should create a controller class as well. And generally we create different packages. So in the next step, what I will do, using the base package, create a new package for controller, and in the controller package create a new class as home controller. I am writing it as home controller. You can use any name of your choice. So what we have to do, using the base package. So I will right click on this package, and inside this I will click on new and then package dot controller. Keep dot controller. And inside this controller we have to create a new class, that is home controller, right? So it should look like this. Now your project should look like this. That screenshot also I am giving for your reference. Now your project should look like this. Okay. Now in the next step, in the container class, that is Java config. So in the container class, create the bean of home controller. Create the bean of home controller so that Spring can manage the object of home controller class. So it's very simple. We will go to our Java config. Inside this, I will create a method, that is bean method. And this method will be a public home controller method. And as it is a home controller class, so we should create object of this home controller h equals to new home controller, and at last I will return this h. That's it. So here we have created the bean of home controller class as well, and now this class will be managed by Spring. After doing this step, your code should look like this. Wherever I am highlighting something with yellow color, in any of my batch, it means it is the source code. So here we have created the bean of home controller as well. In the next step, now we will write the operations. In the home controller class, give two options to user, and those options are, first option is actually four options, not two. In the home controller class, give a welcome message and four option to the user. At first a welcome message, second is four options to user. The first option is add a new employee. Second is update an existing employee. Third is delete an employee. And fourth is exit. There is a note, show all the options using a while loop, or using a loop actually, not while, any loop you can use, so that it is giving options to the user continuously, option to the user continuously, and it stops giving options when user has opted to exit. It should not give any option. Now if you didn't understood this line, so don't worry. In the home controller class, create a method and give these four options. So now I will go to home controller class, which is looking very simple as of now. I will create a method inside this. You can create any method. So I will create public void. Public means we can use this method outside. Void means it will not return anything. Method name I will keep as controller, or you can keep any name actually. Controller. Now in this, What is the first requirement? Create a method and give a welcome message. So generally system.out.println welcome to employee management system. Employee management system. And before this employee management system, I will just print some sort of design like this. So it will look elegant. Like this. And four options we have to give, right? We have to give four options. So the very first option is one, add an employee. Add an employee. The second option is update an existing employee. Third is delete an employee. And fourth is exit. Fourth is exit. So only give these options as of now, like this. I have said one thing, that show all the option using a loop, so that it is giving option to the user continuously after performing one operation. Now we will take input from the user. So in the method at the top, only method to take input that we are generally using, scanner class. So creating the object of scanner class and taking the input from user. After showing all these options, I will take one input, that is int choice is equals to sc dot next int. Now you have an option. User will enter either 1, either 2, either 3, either 4. Now you can write something like this. If choice is equals to 1, what you will do when choice is 1? Else if choice is equals to 2, what you will do there? Then else if choice is equals to 3, then what you will do? And then else if choice is equals to 4, then what you will do? But user is crack mind, user can give any value, so else for that. Now either you can write 1 if, 3 else if, and then 1 else. This is called nested if else or ladder if else. Is it nested or ladder? Nested. It is ladder if else or nested if else. It is ladder if else, not nested. Nested will be one if inside another if, then side if, like that. So this is called ladder if else. You understand what is ladder? No? So actually everybody of you have seen the ladder, you just don't know it in English. There is a tool to climb to the roof. That is an instrument. This one. Now you say that you don't know what is ladder. This is called ladder. Now the specialty, here we have pipes where we will keep our feet to climb. All the pipes are one over other, one over other. They are not inside each other. So that's why here also all the if else are just below each other or at the top of each other. Ladder. Now either you can write this if else or you can write switch as well. There is complete liability. So here switch will work on the value of choice, and this switch will be having cases. Case 1 means if user has entered value 1, what you will do? You will do something and then you will break the case. So like that you can do. I will go with switch, right? I will not write multiple if else. I will go with switch, but you can write if else also. So after taking the input, what we will do? I will do switch, and this switch is working on the value of choice. Here we will start writing the case. Case 1. Case 1 means if the value of choice is 1. So in case 1, I am just printing one message. Some message like first option, or let's say first only, or you can say first operation. That's it. As of now, because we don't have any operation. Second is I will break this. Same way I will have case 2, case 3, case 4. Case 2, case 3 and case 4. Three and this one is 4. So here also I will just print second operation. Here I will print third operation. Here I will print fourth operation and break. If user is giving some random value, on default I will say one print message that is wrong input. I will just say wrong input. So after doing this particular part, there is another step. I will paste the code after showing it to you. There is one another step, that is in the main class create the, or you can say in the main class get the object of home controller from the container. As our container is having one bean of home controller, so we will ask our container only this app.java. Here I will create the object. So I will say home controller HC equals to container dot get bean, and get bean of home controller dot class, like this. And after creating the container using the object of home controller class, call the method. So which method name you have written inside home controller? As I have written a method name as controller, you can call the same. So here HC is my home controller name. So HC dot controller, I have called the method. So this class should look like this. And we will not do anything in app.java now. That's it. In this class, that is the main class, we will not do anything else. Let's run your main class. So when I'm running the main class, so it is showing this thing, welcome to employee management system portal, you can say, and add an employee, update an existing employee, delete. Let's say I want to add an employee. So I will press 1 here, I will hit enter. Now first option, first operation means first operation is done, but I am not getting the same options again. So that is why I have written this line. Show all the option using a loop, so that you are getting options again after performing one operation. Here I performed one operation and now I can't type anything because program got closed. So in home controller, all these things I will do inside a while loop. Here one more print message I will attach. Choose the operation. Choose the operation. So before this scanner class, I will declare one while loop. But while loop works on a condition that checks true and false. So I will declare one boolean value. Boolean flag and initial value is true. So that our while loop is running for the first time, and same flag I will attach here. And now all these values or whatever you are doing here, I will do inside while loop. Now we will do them inside while loop. That's it. Now every time you will get option because while loop is working on the value of flag and flag is always true. When you want to stop this while loop, I have mentioned it stop giving option when user has opted to exit. Exiting is the fourth option, means on case 4 we are printing fourth operation. Here I will say flag is equals to false so that our loop is stopping. Now let's run the main class again. Welcome to employee management system. Choose an operation. I will choose one. So first operation is done, means random message, and again we got the option. Let's say this time I will delete one employee. So third operation, again we got the options. I will choose 4 and this time fourth operation and we didn't got the options again. So that is what I mean to say. That use any loop. Where? Here. Okay. Now, slowly we will build the database logic as well. Now, if you are just getting a throwback, I have given you some of the annotations. Those annotations were controller at the rate of repository. Remember? And I told you that whenever we are working with database, we write this repository, right? But as this is not Spring Boot, so this repository annotation we will not use here. But package we will create with the name as repository only. Now we are going to write operations. This logic, if user is trying to add an employee, it should be an operation to add the employee only, right? So now in the next step, what we will do, I will say that is next step, using the base package, create a new package as repository. Repository. Why we use this repository? For database operations. Repository or model. Actually, you can write two things. But we haven't discussed anything about model, so I will write repository here. So again, using the base package, that is employee ms, I will create this new package dot repository. And in this repository, in this project, we are only doing three operations: adding, deleting, updating, right? Adding, deleting, and updating. We are not performing show employees option. So using the base package, create a new package as repository, and in the newly created package, create three different class we will create. For what? First is for adding, you can say add class. Second is update class, and third is delete class, right? So in this package repository, because three database operations we are doing, so we will create three new class. One is add class, second is update class, third is delete class. And now this is how your project will look. After this is how your project will look. See, this is a documentation that you can read and copy paste everything and your project will work. Right? Now, all the classes are created. At first, I will write the logic of adding an employee. For that, what we will do in the next step, in the add employee class or in the add class, write the logic of adding an employee by using the JDBC template, by using the JDBC template object. For use, okay, we will discuss that later. There is a public class of add. Here, I will create one public void add emp method. This is a add employee method. See, take it very slowly, doesn't matter. There is a void method of add employee. How my table is looking? My table should have ID in int. So define this field. There is a int ID. I am just doing the same thing, whatever is written in my table. Name in varchar. So we should take our name in string there, string name. Third is mobile number, that too I have taken as varchar. So again, string mobile number. Then we have email ID in varchar. So again, string email. And then salary, that is in int. So int salary, right? Int salary. That is the adding an employee. Now, what you will do in this? Create the object of scanner class. That is scanner s equals to new scanner system.in. Here, take input one by one. Let's say someone is running your class. Take the employee ID, take the employee's name, take the employee's mobile number, employee's email ID, employee's salary. So here I will give one option. The first option is enter employee's name. Enter employee's name. I should accept it inside a name variable. that is name equals to sc dot next int, sorry, next line. Then I will take employee's mobile number. See, I am not taking id as first. There is a reason behind it. You know the reason? Because again we have to do the changes. What changes? We, it is a problem in taking string input after a int input. So I am taking that in a reverse way. Or let's do it very simple. Enter employees ID. Take it clearly. So ID equals to sc dot next int. Whenever you have taken one int input, after that you can't take string input. I thought I told you the problem also. There is a line issue. So what we have to do for that? Sc dot next line. We have to send the compiler to next line. Then only we can take one string input. After this, again I will give one message to the HR that enter employee's name, whatever the name of employee is. So name is equals to sc dot next line. Then again a print message, enter employee's mobile number. So MO, we are taking mobile number in string only. So next line. Then again a message to the user, enter employee's email. Email equals to sc dot next line again. And at last one print message, enter employee's salary. Lucky, what you want to say? We convert the typecasting because user is giving the input in place of ID. I didn't got you. What you are trying to say? ID is anyhow int, right, in database also. So what is the problem? Anyways, let's come here. Take a string and convert into it. Why? Why we should take string? So we have taken all the values. We have taken all the values from HR. Now we can create a query here. So I will create one query. That is string query equals to. Now query I will write insert into employee. This is my table name. Insert into employee. Values. And in place of values, now we can't write this email like that. So if you know what we call them, if I'm keeping question mark here, question mark, question mark, question mark, as 5 values we are taking, so I can give 5 question mark here. What is this called? What this particular method is called? Prepared statement. This you might have done in JDBC also. Tell me tomorrow. Now, string query. But we need JDBC template to run this query, right? We need JDBC template to run this query. and we have JDBC template in our container, but container is only accessible in app.java, means in this class. Then how we will get connection in this particular class now? That is the benefit of Spring JDBC, that you can open the connection anywhere, reusing the connection. So how you will reuse that connection? I have told you one method, if you are remembering that, auto wired. Remember, auto wired means two beans. If there are two beans, they can use each other. They can use each other by auto wiring. So this is a simple line. So in the container, there is one bean available for JDBC template, but there is no bean for this add class. So who is stopping? Let's create a bean for add class, that is public add a, and add equals to new add, and just return the object. That's it. Now, both JDBC template and both add class are available in container. Now they can auto wire each other. So in the add class, I will say public, or you can keep it private, private JDBC template, and you will make it auto wired. You will make it auto wired. Now this template is auto wired. To run this query, now I can call template dot update query. But query is demanding 5 values now. So here I will give comma, and I will start giving the values. First value is int, which is stored inside ID. Then I will give name, then mobile, then email, and then salary. Salary is not initialized. It is right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we are not taking it actually. Salary equals to sc dot next int. So this adding an employee is done now. Very basic code. I will call the object of this add class inside home controller. Now again, home controller is a bean and add class is also a bean. So now I can auto wire this add class in my home controller because I need the object of add class here. So I will say private add. I will make it auto wired. When user is choosing one, case 1, I will call the add class as first and then add employee method. Add class and then add employee method. So when you are trying to add the employee, it will return a int value. It will return one int value, int num. So here now you can check if num is equals to 1. Employee added successfully. Employee added successfully. Or else you can give a print message, operation terminated. Operation terminated. Now this is the logic for adding an employee. Lot of code is there. Now home controller is calling, and we are calling home controller in main class. Now we will run the project. So we are getting the same message. Welcome to employee management system. Choose the operation. As we know, adding an employee is written. I will write one. Enter employee's ID. Let's say the employee ID is 101. See properly, 101. Employee's name is, let's say, Shrikar. Employee's mobile number is 9080706050. Enter employee's email, shrikar@gmail.com. Enter employee's salary, let's say 20,000. It took some time and gave a message to me. Employee added successfully. Employee added successfully means my JDBC template has returned 1. Then only I got this message. Now, did we actually got these values in database? So let's check. I will hit the query, that is select asterisk from employee. And in database we can see that exactly all the values we got. ID as 101, name as Srikar, same mobile number, same email ID, and same salary. So in the next step, in the add class, before this add class, I will say create the bean of add class in container class, that is Java config. So how the code of Java config will look after creating the bean? So something like this. So after creating the add, so you can write the logic by using the JDBC template object. And now this is the code for adding an employee. Did you understood how this particular app is working now? You understood how JDBC template is working here in add class? Because we are auto wiring. Auto wiring means add is also a bean, JDBC template is also a bean, and we are creating a wired connection between them, right? So we are not creating object with this random method. This home controller is also a bean, and this add is also a bean. So I am auto wiring this add here. Now in the next step, what we are doing, in the home controller class, while user is choosing one, call the add employee method. Call the add employee method using the object of add class. So how we are going to see? This is the code now of home controller. And after this particular step, test your application. because now you can add the employee. So there is a note: test your application by adding at least 5 employees. At least 5 employees you should add. Okay. So one employee already we have added. We will add 4 more employees. And I think I have already said you that tagline: the biggest bug in your application is when user is giving input. So whenever your user is giving you input, that is the biggest bug. Because you are accepting int value, a user is pressing st, p, q are there. So like that. Again we will run, and I will select 3 here. No method is called there. So again we will get the same options. We will add the second employee now, that is add an employee. So click on, like, enter one. Employee ID I will give as 102. Employee name, let's say Abdul. Employee's mobile number 2030405060. Employee's email abd@gmail.com. Employee salary, let's say 30,000. Taking some time, and employee added successfully. We shall check that in database, and yes, we got second value as well. Again I will add one more employee. 103 is the employee's ID. Employee's name, let's say Ram. Employee's mobile number is 80808, like something like that. Employee's email, ram@yahoo.com. Salary is something like this. And employee added successfully. We will check the third employee as well. Third employee is also coming. How smoothly Java is running, right? Java is, that's why, very fast. Employee's ID is 104. Employee's name, let's say ABC. Employee's mobile number is something like this. Employee's email ID is abc@rediffmail.com. Salary is something like this. Again employee added successfully. It is taking milliseconds to add the employee in database. Fourth employee is also added successfully. One last employee we will add now. Enter employee's ID 105. What if I am keeping 104? Enter employee's name. Employee's name is XYZ. Mobile number is something like this. Email is xyz@gmail.com. Employee salary something like this. And exception. And the exception is ID is primary key, and we are giving duplicate value for it. Duplicate entry 104. In my database, this 104 ID is already available, right? This 104 ID is already available. So that is the error also. No problem. Again, we will run our project and we will add fifth employee. 105 is the employee's ID. Name is XYZ. Mobile number 8070600090. Employee email is xyz@gmail.com. Salary is, let's say, 25,589. And employee added successfully. So now we have added 5 different employees in our project, right? Added 5 employees. Now you can see that is the beauty of Spring JDBC, that you got a JDBC template class, central class. Now you can use it anywhere. You got one driver manager data source for connection. Now you can use this connection anywhere. Are you opening the connection somewhere? Are you closing the connection somewhere? No. Opening the connection means, am I writing somewhere this line dot get connection? So answer is no. We are not writing this particular part. Am I writing somewhere con dot close? So the answer is again no. I am not writing this anywhere. Who is writing then? Spring JDBC. Or you can say Spring is managing when to open the connection and when to close the connection. You are not doing it. Now you know one thing. Here we are doing this part, driver manager, then creating this, giving a data source to JDBC template, and then at last query we are writing. At last we are writing a query. In Spring Boot, this also we will not write. Query also we will not write. That we will see. Now, adding an employee is working fine. Sorted. In the next step, in the container, create the bean of delete class. So in the container, that is Java config, I will create the bean of delete, that is public delete. So delete D equals to new delete and return D, right? And this is how this code will look now. In the container class. Like this. So bean is created. Now we will write the logic. Logic of deleting an employee. See, ID is unique, right? ID is unique. So in this project, I will write the logic to delete the employee by the ID only, right? You can delete any employee by ID only. You cannot delete by any other field, only ID. In the delete class, write the logic of deleting an employee by using ID in bracket only. We can delete an employee by using ID only. No other option is given. So delete class. Now it should have a method. You know why I am not creating main method here? I can create main method also, right? Then why I am not creating? Is there any logic or just randomly I don't like main method? Is there any method? Like, is there any logic that I am not creating main method? What? Loudly. I am already creating in. So, no. There are two reasons that I am not creating main method in this class. There are two reasons for that. The very first reason is, if we are having main method, the class has the capability to run alone. First thing. Now, because the compiler starts executing the program from main method. You know, the starting point of any program is main method. Now, in this delete class, let's say I am having main method and it is printing something. It is printing something like this: employee deleted. Employee deleted. Just run this class for a minute. So already it is running. I will close. I will run this delete class. Employee deleted. And now Spring don't even know that employee deleted. Spring don't even know that employee deleted, because this delete class has the ability to run automatically now. Means it can run alone. This is the Sigma boy. I don't need anyone. But if it is not having main method, it is having some another method. Public void delete employee. It is having this method. Now that method is printing the message emp deleted. Now try to run this class. No main method. Now this class does not have the capability to run alone, right? Because no main method. That is the first reason. Second reason is, do you know about second method of taking input is Java, that is command line input? Command line input. Just a minute. I will show you live, don't worry. If I am creating a method something like this, public void emp method, and I am saying that if you are calling me, you have to give one string name. If you are calling this emp method, it will pass the argument as a string name. Now, if I want to call this method, let's make it static. Now, I will call this emp method, emp. So this emp method is throwing error. But why? Because there is one string argument. So we have to give one string argument to it. Otherwise, we cannot call. In the same way, your main method is also having some argument. And directly you cannot call it outside. It will require some argument. You know the theory of this string args or not? No? You know this theory of string args or not? Let me write the second reason, then I will say. The second reason is, we are not working with main method because in home controller class, if we are calling main method, we have to provide some arguments unnecessarily. You want to check? Let's do it. So delete object is already there in home controller. This delete is having main method only. And main method is just printing one message that I am main method of delete class. Then I will tell you the theory of this string args. In home controller, I will auto wired that also. So I will say at the rate of auto wired private delete del. Now, when user is trying to delete an employee on 3, right? On 3, I will call the method. That is del is the object name dot main. So I am calling the main method here. Error. This main method is saying that error. We have error now. You cannot call it. You have to give some argument to it unnecessarily. Now, let's understand the theory of this particular part. In how many ways we can take input in Java? 6. Actually, it is 7, out of which 2-3 methods are closed now. Like applet is there. We don't use applet now. Out of all those methods, command line input is there. So let's say I will simply create a class that is public class main, and now this main class is having the main method also, that is public static void main string args. Now I will ask you something and you just answer. Public is access modifier, or you can say accessibility modifier. Static means again a non-access modifier which will allot memory. Void is return type. Main is method name. What is this string args? Argument given to this main method. What? Argument. You know what kind of argument? You don't know this. Actually, Java is a beautiful language. Java is saying that this is the starting point of your program. Now, to this program, this main method will call, this main method will be called. Now, this main method has the capability of taking some argument. Here I will print some of the values. System.out.println args 0. Args 0. One and 2. What I am doing, there is a public class main. Let's save this and I will show you. So I will save it directly in desktop main.java. So here we got this particular class main.java. Compile the file javac main.java. Now I will run the file, that is java main, but I will write 3 values here. Java main, and I have written 3 values. Thakur Shivam Kumar. And what I got? Same as the output. But how? So technically, when you are running the main method, you can provide argument. And these argument will go one by one and they will be getting stored in this string array. And array name is args. Here you can write array also, doesn't matter. I have already shown this part, that here you can write simple a also, it will work. Writing args is not at all mandatory because it is just the array name. It is just the array name. It is nothing more than that. And I have provided three argument and I'm printing all three. So it is the array, and this is the beauty of Java, that you can ignore this also. You can ignore. So let's say we will save the okay, we will run the file again, Java main, but this time no argument, exception. I am not giving any argument and I'm trying to print something with zero indexing. It's not even there. Array index out of bound exception. So we don't call main method anywhere because it is, if you are calling this in another class, it will take argument from you. If you are running it in the command prompt, it can run without any argument. But if you are calling this main method inside any other class, you can't call it without giving arguments. Anyways, we will write the delete logic. Understood why I am not writing main method? Two reasons. First is, after writing main method, this class has the capability of running independently. But we want all the class to run through our container and through our Spring main class. That class is only having main method. If you remember, in home controller also I am not writing main method. I am writing one controller method. Because if I am writing main method here, this home controller can run independently and that we don't want. So our this class, public class app, is only having main method. So independently only this class will run. All other class will run internally inside this. Right? Sorted. Now we will write the deleting an employee logic. So understood why we are not writing main method? Shrikar, understood? Are you sure? So when you are coming tomorrow for the class, I will ask you these questions, okay? And you have to answer. So main method I will not create. I will create any other method. Public void delete emp, delete employee. So we will use scanner class object here to take the ID from user. So we will give a print message that enter the ID of employee that you want to delete. Strictly, we are giving permission to delete any employee by its ID only. As this is a mini project, so I'm not doing lot of validation inside this. We have to build lot of the projects, guys. So int ID is equals to sc dot next int. Now again we will use JDBC template. So in the class, not in the method, in the class, I will create the object that is private JDBC template. As both of them are the bean here, delete bean and JDBC template bean. So it can auto wired. So I will say auto wired. Now here we will write the query. What we will do? We will write the query here. String query. Query is delete from employee where ID equals to. Can I write question mark here? Like this, can I write? That delete from employee where ID equals to question mark. And I will try to call template dot update query and the value is ID, like this. This update method returns one int value. So I will say int num equals to this. If number is coming as 1, It means that employee deleted successfully. Employee deleted successfully, or else operation terminated. Operation terminated. So let's run our main class. Now, in the home controller, we need to change the code. So already we are auto wiring the delete class here, but on the delete option, that is third option, we have to call that method. Class name is del. Del. Method name is delete employee. Now it will work fine. So let's run it. Adding an employee already we have checked. Delete an employee. So 3. Enter the ID of employee that you want to delete. So I want to delete an employee whose ID is 105. Because who is XYZ we don't know. So 105. Employee deleted successfully. Let's check it in database. So yes. Who is this ABC? We don't know who is this ABC. Delete this also. So again I will delete the employee, that is 3. This time employee ID is 104. Employee deleted successfully and exit. So on exit still we are printing fourth operation. We will print something else but tomorrow. So that is how. Let me update in the delete class, write the logic. So this is the logic of deleting the class. Sorry, deleting the employee. After that, in the next step, in the home controller, auto wire the object of delete class called delete employee method. And that's how home controller is looking as of now. Okay. To be continued. We will continue this tomorrow. Anyhow, I am giving you this documentation and the zip file of this code both. Now, every single thing I have mentioned in the documentation. Still, if you are not doing it, then what can I say? Now, we have added the logic of adding an employee and deleting an employee. Updating I haven't written because in updating you can update 4 things. Name you can update, mobile number you can update, email ID and salary. So that is bigger logic. So that we will write tomorrow. And if time is there tomorrow only we will do the same project on Oracle also. So same project I will do. I will just change the class name and URL. That's it. So that is what we did today. Did you understood the theory of this string args now? Understood? That is a way of taking input in Java. Hidden way. Okay? You never noticed, right? If there is one method name is add, and something like there is written string name. Now, whenever you are calling this method, you have to give one string value. Otherwise, it will not run. and your main method is having one string array from a longer time, but till now you didn't notice why we are doing that and where we are giving argument. Shrikar, remember the two answers why don't we use main method? Okay, tomorrow are you on leave? Sorry, in the place of orgs, args. You can write anything, it's a name, right? Whenever you are writing your main method, that is public static void main, string is the class name, square bracket are the representation of array. Now this is a variable name, you can write string seeker also, it's a name only. Try it, okay, it will work. Fine guys, let's connect again tomorrow. Have a nice time everyone. Bye bye, take care. Good night.